Let me now invite Professor Sarma to share his opinions about history of mathematics and the conference in general. Some of you who have attended yesterday's opening ceremony know about Professor Sarma, but for the benefit of those who have joined today, I would quickly tell you that he was a professor of Sanskrit at Aligarh Muslim University, and after his retirement, he has been visiting professor at Kyoto University, University of British Columbia, and at the Harvard University. Currently, he is preparing a descriptive catalogue of the pre-modern astronomical instruments. And he presently lives in Dasarita, quite active in history of mathematics. So, let me invite Professor Sarma for his remarks.
For your kind words of introduction. Vibhuthabhivandita pado jayati Sri Bhaskara900. Thus proclaims an inscription set up by Bhaskara900's grandson Changadeva. It means, victorious is the illustrious Bhaskara900, whose words, padas, are cherished by scholars, vibhutas. There is also a secondary layer of meaning, which suggests that Bhaskara900's feet, padas, are worshipped by gods, vibhutas. Indeed, from the middle of the 12th century on, Bhaskara's magisterial writings have been revered through all the centuries in all parts of India, and he is respectfully referred to as Bhaskara900, some of which you have already heard from me yesterday. Something new here. According to David Pingree's Census of the Exact Sciences in Sanskrit, some 600 manuscript copies of the Lilavati are extant today in all parts of India. Of the Siddhanta Shiromani, together with the Vasana Bhashya, there are about 650 manuscripts and more than 200 manuscripts each of the other works, Bija Ganita and Karana Kutuhala. Furthermore, these manuscripts are written in all the scripts of India, from Malayalam to Nevari, from Assamese to Gujarati. They don't write, they use Devanagari. Some very eminent scholars like Ganesha Daivagnya, Krishna Daivagnya, and Nrisimha Daivagnya wrote very scholarly commentaries on Bhaskara900's works. There are more than 30 commentaries on the Lilavati alone, of which we know only very few. The other works have about 10 commentaries each. There is indeed no doubt that Bhaskara900 left a strong imprint on the intellectual history of India. His 900th birth anniversary, therefore, ought to have been celebrated at the national level, as Dr. Kakotkar pointed out yesterday quite rightly. Well, be that as it may, when Dr. Vijay Bedekar proposed to celebrate the birth anniversary at the Vidya Prasarak Mandal, my colleagues and I were very happy. We were also greatly impressed by his plans for the year-long celebrations. Besides the international conference in September, which Dr. Bedekar wished to have throughout the year, workshops on the works of Bhaskara900, in particular on the Lilavati, in the schools and colleges run by the Vidya Prasarak Mandal and by other organizations. This outreach activity is very important because our educational curriculum pays hardly any attention to the scientific heritage of the nation. Dr. Bedekar's plan of addressing the students of schools and colleges through the workshops and the international community of science historians through this conference is precisely what Bhaskara900 also wanted to do, namely to address novices and also to appeal to experts. In each of his works, he repeatedly states that his works are meant to be accessible even to the beginners, Bala Leela Avagamya, and at the same time they should also earn the appreciation of experts, Vidaktha Ganaka Priti Prada. It is gratifying to learn that there has been a great response to the workshops. Professor Sudhakar Agarkar, Dean, VPM's Academy of International Education and Research, has conducted from January onwards 37 workshops in various parts of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, and Andhra Pradesh to diverse kinds of groups: school pupils, college students, teachers, and bankers. There are still several invitations pending, and he will be continuing the workshops in the remaining months of the year. In fact, Dr. Bedekar and Professor Agarkar are thinking of continuing them even after this calendar year. This has been an immensely valuable educational project, and no words are adequate to describe the importance of the work, especially in a country with an unbroken tradition of scientific activity, with thousands of manuscripts of unpublished texts on scientific subjects, but without a single university offering history of science in its curriculum. As I said yesterday in one of the sessions, Professor Agarkar will be speaking about these workshops. Now I come to the second component of the celebrations, namely the present international conference. We are happy that a large number of scholars from India, Japan, France, New Zealand, United States, Germany also, have responded to our invitation to participate in this conference. As you can see in the book of abstracts, we have arranged the papers in 9 thematic groups, with a plenary lecture in each group, which is followed by individual papers dealing with different works of Bhaskara900, and with the commentaries on these works and with other mathematical and astronomical procedures in each of these works. Again, to repeat what I said yesterday, it is customary in India to commence conferences of this nature with an invocation, and there are many beautiful Sanskrit verses for this purpose. Bhaskara900 himself composed some very beautiful verses of invocation in each of his works. So we have decided to commence every event and every plenary lecture with an invocation from the pen of Bhaskara900. In 2 cases, we have chosen verses from the commentaries on the Bhaskara's works, from Kriya Kramakari and Surya Prakasha, and we have also included a popular Saraswati Vandana, which you heard this morning from Mrs. Bedekar. But I have to say that our carefully thought out scheme of arrangement of 9 thematic groups, each commencing with an appropriate Mangalacharana, followed by a plenary lecture and then related papers, was considerably upset by the last minute's request by some people to place their papers on a particular day and on at a particular time. We spent 2 days making all these changes. With too many changes, our program has become rather untidy, for which please accept our apologies. Moreover, about 10 scholars had to cancel their participation due to various reasons, resulting in some significant gaps in our scheme. We should also apologize for having to arrange the papers in 2 parallel sessions. It is, of course, annoying that one can attend only one of the parallel sessions at a time. There is the case of Buridan's ass, of a donkey which has 2 equally desirable heaps of grass at equal distances. It couldn't decide where to go and eat. It probably starved. I'm sure you can make such decisions, except those people who are tied up in one of the sessions. Particularly, we from the organization would have liked to attend each paper. But to have only single session would have meant extending the conference by 2 more days, which is beyond our resources. That is why we have requested you to send advance copies of your presentations, but only half of you have responded, the other half did not. If you can please give us your texts in the next days, we'll be happy. Yeah, nevertheless, we are happy that 40 scholars have taken the trouble to assemble here. Some of them are new to the field, others have made their mark in the historiography of Indian mathematics and astronomy. We welcome heartily both these groups. And we are sure that in the next days, your contributions will greatly advance the scholarship on Bhaskaracharya. Just now we had the invocation, Saraswati Nrityatu Vachime Sada. May Saraswati dance on all your tongues, and lot of valuable contributions follow forth. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Sarma. It has always been inspiring to listen to you, even though you go on listening to him every time he has something new to add and tell.